And we're live.
Good mythical morning, everyone. It's the notorious, glorious V, the Gorilla Economist, coming to you live with my main man, El Cuco, aka CJ, aka the master of the flux capacitor. And we're giving you the news, the views, and all the information important to you. Check us out on roguenews.com. Follow us on Twitter at Real Rogue News. Rogue News on iTunes, every single podcasting app known to humanity. We're still probably flying under the Rogue Money moniker, so you can find us at Rogue Money as well on these various podcasts that have not updated. And also check out our see, we're up on Minds as well, right? I mean, we got our Rogue News up there on Minds.
That's a great question, V. I know you sent that out as far as your personal profile, but I need to look at that to verify. But I know you're on there.
Yes, I am on Minds and I'm loving it. Go over to Minds. You can find Rogue News will be on there soon. CJ, are you on there personally?
I am not yet on there, V, but I will be after today.
All right, after today, CJ will be on there as well. So you can, for the time being, you can follow me on Minds at V Gorilla, and that's Gorilla spelled Guerrilla, Guerrilla, not Gorilla. Even though I am the Gorilla. But it's a play on words, folks. It's a play on words. Get it? Gorilla. You know, it's just, Anyway. You can find me on Minds. I'm always over there. The hell with Twitter and all these other things. And, folks, we got some exciting things being built for you. We will be launching shortly, very soon, an amazing platform. And we're going to have all your beloved creators and contributors and content purveyors on there. And we're going to roll. We're going to kick butt and take names, keep it moving. And, CJ and I were talking about this. It's like, in spite of all the suppression that we're getting from big tech, a lot of suppression. And CJ was talking about, there's sites that he follows that are no longer there. They're dropping like flies. Internet content creators dropping like flies left and right. And one of the things that we're talking about is like when you look at our numbers as a company, our numbers are statistics through the roof. In spite of all the suppression, our numbers are through the roof. Okay, we should be at like 40,000 subs by now. Seriously, God honest truth. I mean, I get emails all the time. Hey, this is my 5th time subscribing to you. Every time I subscribe, it's automatically unsubscribed after like a couple of hours or a day or two. I'm unsubscribed. So. So these are the things that are happening. These are the things that we're fighting. And you can see the revenue there's no revenue. There's no revenue. They're playing ads on our channel. I know that for a fact. But in terms of revenue, it's a joke. It's a joke. It doesn't exist. It's not existent. It's as elusive as Sasquatch. Okay, it's as elusive as Sasquatch. But it is what it is. And that's why we have sponsors. And that's why when you shop and you buy from sponsors and companies, you're supporting this show. You're supporting CJ. You're supporting myself. You're supporting the businesses that are providing a valuable service and or product as well. So we're keeping it in our economy, folks. Our economy of like-minded individuals. And that's the most important thing. So in terms of our sponsors, we have a new one. We've been working on this for a while. It's the Ape. The Ape is available, folks. Check it out. The link is in the description box. Buytheape.com. What is the Ape? The Ape stands for the Advanced Portfolio Encryption. Ape's the only dedicated cold storage smart device for managing your cryptographic asset portfolio in the most secure platform on the market. It fits into your pocket, plugs into any monitor. It comes with an HDMI and Ethernet cable. This way you avoid the risk of Wi-Fi. Okay, it has four USB ports with a micro USB OTG port that allows you to connect to your own keyboard and mouse and securely track and manage your cryptographic currencies, tokens, and assets. The device includes an 8 gigabyte SDR RAM of system memory, upgradable to 128 bits for optimal. It's crazy, optimal performance. Ape's powerful open source system. It's encrypted up to 512 bits. And there's 2 of them. There's the Ape Pro, which we recommend. It's $375. You could download all your crypto wallets directly to it. It's pretty awesome. It is a mobile, full-blown computer operating system. There's no installation required. No, you don't need to learn programming code. Nothing. It has a Linux operating system on there. I think it's running Ubuntu with a custom encryption that's on there. That's running in the background. It's a 512 elliptical grade encryption running in the background. That's custom built to the ape. It's developed by White Hats. That's right. It's actually developed by White Hat hackers, and they're the ones who develop it. So check it out. Each ape, folks, okay, needs to be manually programmed. It's just that awesome. It's that custom built. Allow up to 4 weeks for your order to arrive. Please be patient with us. It'll be worth the wait. It comes with the HDMI cable, the Ethernet cable, and the power supply. That's what comes in the box. So check it out. Buy the ape. And if you don't want all that encryption, you just want to get a regular device just to surf the internet, handle your messages, do your emailing securely, your own private thing, well, just get the Ape Lite. That's for $275. And that's pretty awesome. So it's a great device. Check it out. Buytheape.com. And also check it out, mycbdedibles.com, mycbdedibles.com. CJ, this morning I woke up, man. I woke up and I was up early and I said, you know what? I got some new wheels thrown on the M5. Okay. New wheels, CJ. Beautiful, black,
nice,
concave, 20-inch, 5-spoke wheels. Love them. They're gorgeous. Have a nice little titanium brushed finish on the spoke. I'll send you the pictures later. Absolutely stunning. And I said to myself, okay, I need to go wash this car because I just put the rims on. The rims were sitting in my garage for like months. I just didn't get a chance to, make the appointment to have it installed. So go out and get them installed. And I, washed. I'm like, I'm gonna wash the car. And I washed the car, and I realized, Siege, that I was out of CBD coffee. I was out of CBD coffee. So I had to go out there to Starbucks and get a cold brew coffee. Okay. And now I'm like hyper wired. Because these things are like so potent. See, I like the even energy that the CBD coffee gives me, CJ. I love it. It keeps me stable throughout the entire day. Folks, the damn coffee is so good. Siege, I actually eat at times the beans, the roasted beans. I eat it directly from the pouch. It's delicious.
I think you were on vacation when we announced it, but because we've had it's like our bestseller right now, our CBD coffee, and for that reason. But what we kept getting is that there's different levels of coffee drinkers. Even I will tend to have more of like a light to medium roast in the afternoon versus a dark roast in the morning. And then we had some people were like, hey, is there any chance you can do a decaffeinated, my blood pressure, whatever, everything else? We hope the CBD will help with that at some point. Yeah. So for that reason, and we're going to be working even tighter with like really narrowing down just like one supplier. And I'm talking about like direct from the fields, the coffee beans where they come directly distributed. They're not second and third hand touch. These are like exclusively provided. So we have a couple of different potential vendors we're going to be working with that. So, but anyway, breaking that down. So we do now how, if you go there, you can choose between light roast, medium roast, dark roast, and decaffeinated. All of them are organically, sourced to eliminate any type of inconsistencies that can happen sometimes when you source your coffee beans. That's why we're going to be tightening it down to maybe go with one or two very specific vendors. So it'll definitely be worth it. But yeah, so we're excited to have that. So go check it out.
Yep, absolutely. MyCBDEdibles.com. Get your coffee, get your peanut butter chocolate Buckeyes, your almond pecan truffles, coconut truffles, all sorts of deliciousness, yummy granola, whatever the heck you need. Go check it out. MyCBDEdibles.com. It is the best, most delicious way to supplement your CBD. I mean, I like it better than taking the straight oil, man. That oil is harsh.
Oh, yeah.
It can be harsh. Anyway, also, guys, check out liquidbase.io, liquidbase.io. Liquidbase.io. If you got 5,000 or more in cryptos you want to liquidate and you're worried about reporting this and reporting that, you're worried about all sorts of taxable events, check out liquidbase.io. There is no reporting. Everything's private. We handle it. We don't report nothing because we use the power of gold. Maybe you just want to get the hell out of cryptos and move into metals. We could do that for you as well. Go ahead and go to liquidbase.io. Contact us. We'll take care of you. If you have any questions, if you're if you have a ridiculous amount of cryptos that you want to liquidate, contact us as well. We can handle that. We can take care of that. Not an issue. If you're one of those heavy hitters, we could do 5 million a day if you want. whatever the heck it is. So go ahead and contact us, liquidbase.io. And with that being said, CJ, what is crack-a-lacking, my brother?
Hey, real quick before we jump into it, V, I just want to send a shout out to Vin Armani, and we've had Vin on at least a couple of times, and he's a programmer, very intelligent, been on a mainstream television program and everything, and really enjoyed his shows, the Vin Armani show. He had a lot of very intellectual guests, people that were doing just really awesome things as far as disruptive technologies and innovations. And yesterday was his last show, so he just too busy, and again, I'm sure that probably some of the whole YouTube thing, and you look at his view counts, and he should be, he's like us, he should be like getting like 10,000 views on his show, but because anyone that started a YouTube channel probably less than a year ago, it's very difficult to get the subs unless you're paying for them. And there are people out there that do pay for subscribers.
There's a lot of these big toppers that are paying. Dude, there's businesses that are built to basically, produce views for your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
There was an article on Wall Street Journal. There was a whole article. I was reading it like 3 weeks ago on the Wall Street Journal. There were actually, there are businesses that are primarily built to get you fake subs, fake views to increase monetization.
But Vin did his last show. He's going to focus on some other things, but just want to thank him, and we'll get him on. We'll have him on as a guest as he continues to do great things. But just want to give him a shout out, V.
Absolutely, man. Good luck to Vin Armani. It's a brave new world, folks. This is we are living Atlas Shrugged. Believe it or not, on the media sense of things, we are living Atlas Shrugged. And my friends, I want to build Gulch. I want to build a place for all of us to hang out, and I believe we can build something amazing, and that we are worthy of your time, we are worthy of your talent, we are worthy of your treasure. And with that being said, Siege, what do you want to get into, man? We got some things to.
I don't know. I just felt kind of odd the past couple of days with the entire news cycle and everything going on. I don't know. You take us where you want to go, V.
Sure.
I'm down for anything. I see the list. It looks great. So they're all great topics. Where would you like to start?
Let us start. Let's start with a little MAGA, little victory here, and then we'll go to the South Front article, where another false flag is being cooked. So it seems that this back and forth, and what the end result would be, I'm not exactly sure. But we'll start with our buddies over at Zero Hedge. Canada just got played. How Mexico stabbed Canada in the back. NAFTA got the SHAFTA, baby. NAFTA got the SHAFTA. MAGA 2020. That's what I'm titling it. NAFTA got the SHAFTA. MAGA 2020. And what is the biggest economic news of the day? Donald Trump, again, fulfilling on his promises. This guy is a absolute beast. The way he's handling the business here at the White House. Donald Trump concluded bilateral trade negotiations with Mexico and a deal which he called the U.S.-Mexico Trade Agreement, USMATA. I'm going to call it USMATA because it's no longer NAFTA, which will replace the NAFTA, which has been shafting us and screwing us for a while, has been scrapped until Canada also comes into the negotiating table and hammers out agreement with the U.S. Reid, quote-unquote, concedes from a position of weakness and virtually no negotiating capital. There were some odd twists in the announced deal. For example, the agreement on the sunset clause, which some pointed out as strange, as it is a trilateral matter, i.e. one which would involve Canada. And it's unclear how it squares with the U.S.-Mexico pledge that their talks were purely on bilateral issues, confirming that Trump was engaging in some good old divide and conquer. Anyway, folks, we got ourselves a really good trade agreement up and running. Donald has said what he's going to do. And the trade agreement is we're not going to go around, just as he said, we're not going to go around in these globalist trade union agreements where it's a bunch of us together with a whole mess of other countries and we're getting screwed, pilfered, and pillaged. Because those globalist unionized trade blocks do nothing to benefit individual countries. All they are good for, the only thing that they're good for, is to the benefit of certain multinational conglomerates. That's it. That's who benefits. And their bankster masters. That's who benefits in this whole thing. Nobody else benefits. Nobody else even comes close to benefiting. Okay? So this is a big blow to globalism once again. Folks, there is a trend here, a nationalistic trend that continues to expand, that continues to reach a global fervor that has not even slowed down in the least bit. So these are some good things, CJ. Very good things.
Yeah, very good things. And you know what amazes me is everyone talks about like the illegal immigration, right? We need to build the wall and we need to do all this. And V, I've said it like the last 5 to 10 years that in order to fix the border problem, you have to fix Mexico. Okay. Stop giving these people, all they want is an opportunity, right? If you think that there's an income and wealth disparity in the United States, it's probably like 10 times worse in Mexico. Okay. So that's why these people want to come to our country. So in order to help Mexico,
Right.
we need to help them economically.
Yeah.
And these trade deals. So yeah, so it's a big win overall. Now, in saying that, Mexico's most recent election did bring more of a disruptor to the political establishment in Mexico, more
Right.
of a socialist type president in just some of his thoughts regarding free education and those things. But let's face it. I mean, education is a lot different in Mexico, and if they could help to educate and get the talent that they need there and everything else, I mean, my gosh, the future, that's the potential there. But yes, this is exactly what was promised, and I even witnessed a few political pundits actually give kudos on the opposite side of the aisle to say, hey, this is exactly like the discussion. This is the exact type, more of this, right? More of positive negotiations, things worked out as far as trade. There were some estimates. I can't remember, prior to NAFTA, I saw one specific target. I think at one time the North America trade used to be like a $7 billion, whatever trade it was, due to the trade. And now it's like, 4 or 5 times that in terms of the deficit, the trade deficit that we have, that NAFTA brought forth. And that's just complete, inflows of goods and service, but yet we're not shipping anything out. So this is long overdue. It doesn't give any specifics of what trade deal was reached, other than they did reach one. So we'll wait and see specifics regarding the trade deal and what's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. See, shifting gears a little bit as we get into the sandbox and all the issues in the sandbox, what makes the sandbox a sandbox. Talking about Dubai. Let's start with Dubai. We'll hop into Syria, and we'll see how, again, it all connects. Okay. For those that don't realize, there was supposedly a drone strike on the Dubai International Airport, was reported as, quote unquote, Yemen retaliates for airstrikes on children. Okay. This is Sana'a, Yemen. A source inside of Yemen's Air Force said in a statement that an unmanned long-range drone, dubbed the Samad 3, which means Invincible 3, targeted Dubai International Airport in the UAE, located over 683 miles away from Yemen's capital, Sana'a, in retaliation for the recent Saudi-led coalition airstrikes against civilians in Yemen. The source, speaking on conditions of anonymity, said that the drone successfully bombed the airport and returned to its base in Yemen, adding that this was the first time that Yemeni forces used a drone to attack the airport. The UAE is a Saudi Arabia's key ally in the deadly war against Yemen. Yemen's army spokesman, General Sharaf Ghaleb Gulakwa, said the drone strikes achieved its goal and caused the airport to shut down for some time. No comments have been issued by the Emirati aviation authorities thus far. There are no immediate reports about possible casualties or the extent of damage caused. The unnamed source said that the attack came in retaliation to the Saudi-led coalition's attack against a school bus full of children in the Dahayan, and another attack targeting displaced children in Darimi, saying that we renew the invitation to investors to stay away from the UAE. 2 weeks ago, the Saudi-led coalition carried out 2 separate airstrikes targeting children in Yemen. One north of Sadr in August 9th killed more than 30 children. The second attack, which took place on the August 24th, targeted a group of displaced civilians, leaving more than 20 children dead. The new drone attack comes 1 month after Abu Dhabi International Airport was targeted by Yemeni forces in a separate attack, also using a long-range Samad 3 unmanned drone. Military source confirmed that Yemeni forces will continue targeting the infrastructure of countries that have taken part in the war against Yemen. The new drone, the Samad 3, is named after the late president of the Supreme Political Council, Salah Ali al-Samad, who was assassinated in a Saudi-led coalition strike on April the 23rd, 2018. Samad had been chosen by the only parliamentary actively operating in Yemen. Siege, what is your take on this before I open up a can of whoop ass on this nonsense?
Bullshit.
You read that correctly, my friend. You read that correctly.
But go ahead, V.
You read that correctly.
That's a Cliff Note version.
Okay, when dude.
Remember, these guys are like ones that were using rocks as weapons like less than 5 years ago.
Less than 2 weeks ago, man. Less than 2 weeks ago. See, do me a favor, okay? For our intellectual audience members, those who are already smelling BS on this nonsense, okay? Let's do this. I want you to pull up the image of the Samad 3. Okay, that's the SAMAD 3 drone. If you could pull up that image for our illustrious audience, I think it's vital. I shall wait. I shall wait. Okay. Nope, that's a Predator. I'm gonna show you what a Samad looks like. You're gonna pee your pants. Nope, that's not a Samad. Go. You see where that DJI drone is? You see where? Go down. One more down. Okay, go right, to the right. Go right up, right there. Go back. Right there. Stop. Click it. That's your.
What? Is that a helicopter with?
That is your Samad. It looked like a paper airplane. You see those paper airplanes or those styrofoam planes that you get at the dollar store that you tie a rubber band to and it's got a propeller at the end, right? That is your Samad 3.
Interesting.
Folks, the Samad 3, this paper airplane, this thing probably has a range of 15 minutes. Okay, it has a range of 15 minutes. What is the distance, they said, from Sana'a, the capital of Yemen, from whence this drone flew, okay? From whence this drone flew to Dubai. What did they say? 683 miles, right? Right? So they said this drone, this little paper airplane, okay, this low and very slow drone, okay, it just probably has a loiter time of maybe 20, 30 minutes tops. They want you to believe that this little piece of crap, this little paper airplane put together using styrofoam, a couple of rubber bands, and and stuff you'd find in a Sears catalog, flew 683 miles. During the 683 miles, okay, let's see. Do me a favor. Now pull up a map of the Middle East. This is going to be hilarious. Okay. So, Siege, this thing flew from Yemen. Okay. And if you could get a map that has, if you get a better map, like a color map that shows, yeah, there you go. All right, there we go. Okay. So this thing flew from Sana'a, which is, there it is, Sana'a. Okay. From Sana'a, it somehow flew over the radar coverage of Oman. It somehow evaded the radar coverage of Saudi Arabia. It somehow defeated the radar coverage of the UAE, all of which, especially UAE and Saudi Arabia, they have great radars, excellent radar coverage. And this little paper airplane with the rubber band, that's, they probably use a magical rubber band, CJ, okay? That rubber band is probably made from the thread that they have created using the magic carpets that they produce over there. And they wound up that rubber band and launched the paper airplane. And that paper airplane, they want you to believe, flew 683 miles into Dubai International Airport. It bombed those targets and flew 683 miles successfully back to base. Okay? In other words, this drone went 1,366 miles. In other words, it did a full combat sortie that a fighter jet would do. Okay? Now, my question is this. How fast is the Samad 3? How fast is it? Right? And we don't know. But we can tell you it's probably dead slow. I doubt if that thing could even break 100. So this thing, CJ, will literally take hours, damn near days, to get to the UAE, bomb its targets, nobody shoots it down, evades all the radar out there, and then lands back at Sana'a. If you believe in that story, I have another story to sell you. And that other story that I want to sell to you is that a bunch of cavemen in a cave in Afghanistan defeated a multi-trillion-dollar air defense network on September the 11th, and they were able to hijack airplanes using box cutters and drive them into skyscrapers with pinpoint aerobatic precision that to this day that no pilot in any sort of computer simulation could ever emulate. I have that story to tell you. So the question becomes, especially after the supposed Samad attack, which they severely lack the technology, the radio frequency length, or the capability and the logistics to pull off an operation like this. The Houthis don't have it. The Samad 3 is a loitering airplane. It's not even for loitering. It's a quick recon. Maybe, whatever is 10 to 15 miles out. That's about it. It is not something that's going to fly damn near 1,400 miles to pull off a mission sortie. And then the other suspicious thing, CJ, that is an anonymous source. Suspicion number 2. I cannot find anywhere that an actual attack happened anywhere in the Dubai International Airport. Were you, CJ?
No, not from any. No. I mean, there's a couple out there, but I can't validate their sources or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Dubai airport attack. You Google it. UAE denies Houthi rebels attacked airport with armed drone. Look at that. The UAE says, what are you talking about? There's, folks, the Dubai International Airport, which is one of the most beautiful, gorgeous, well-constructed airports in the entire world, which is the hub of Emirates, which is the world's best airline. And this is a shameless plug. I'm not getting paid a penny to say this. If you're going to fly international and Emirates is available, I suggest you get on Emirates. It is literally the finest airliner in.
I guarantee you probably own one of those shirts too, don't you?
I do. I seriously do. I'm gonna put an Emirates logo shirt on my. I'm gonna put an Emirates logo on my car, dude. Emirates is amazing. The food, the service, the comfort, the plane. I mean, they are literally the finest airliner in the world. Okay. So you're telling me the finest luxury airliner in the world at the finest airport on planet Earth in one of the most heavily surveilled areas on the globe, because UAE is the money laundering capital of the Middle East, that an attack from a supposed paper airplane happens and nobody has any sort of evidence of it. So what is this all about? What is this all about? So if this is a BS story, which it is, what is it all about? Okay. Well, we see the other thing here. U.S. preparing to bomb Syria again. See, what is this about?
Well, there's breaking news, and this comes to us from South Front that we truly enjoy. That there have been boots on the ground in terms of the white helmets supporting the white helmets in a rural area in Syria, planning out and staging another chemical attack. They're labeled as foreign nationals, that they have arrived, that they have begun the staging. They've already recorded the videos. They have it all this staged out and mapped and ready to go. And if you look at the strategic planning of U.S. military forces, and then likewise what Russia has done, it makes a lot of sense. It might be easier just to queue up. It's like maybe I can pause it, halfway through if we want, but I do have the audio from this queued up. Okay, here we go.
Foreign specialists arrived in Syria to stage a chemical attack, which will be blamed on the Damascus government. Russian Defense Ministry spokesman Mayor General Igor Konashenkov said on August 25th, warning that the staging of the incident may happen soon. According to the military spokesman, the English-speaking specialists arrived in a kibbutz settlement in southern Idlib. In the most populated area of Kafr Zita, preparations are being made for a group of residents brought from the north of the province to participate in the staging of an attack of allegedly chemical munitions and bombs by Syrian government forces, staged assistance by mimicked rescuers from the White Helmets, and the shooting of the video for distribution to the Middle East and English-language media, Mayor General Konashenkov said. He emphasized that this situation once again confirms that foreign forces are seeking to severely destabilize the situation and disrupt the steady dynamics of the ongoing peace process. The Russian military pointed out that this staged attack is designed to create a pretext for the new US-led missile strike on government facilities in a war-torn country. According to Konashenkov, Washington is already preparing for this move. The U.S. Navy's destroyer Sullivans, with 56 cruise missiles on board, arrived in the Persian Gulf several days ago, while a B-1B strategic bomber of the U.S. Air Force, armed with AJM-158JA SSM air-to-surface missiles, was deployed to the Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. Meanwhile, the Russian naval task force near Syria has been strengthened with Black Sea Fleet's brigades, Admiral Grigorovich and Admiral Essen, armed with Caliber cruise missiles and Shtil-1 surface-to-air missiles. The task force near Syria currently consists of at least 16 warships and submarines, including 3 Admiral Grigorovich-class brigades.
Okay, so we get the idea, right? So, massive staging planned happening right now, in preparation to leading up to this. Let's just hope it doesn't happen, V. That's the most important thing. Why would, again, we've said this numerous times, why would this be the time for any type of chemical attack at this stage? We're getting reports of thousands upon thousands people who fled the war-torn areas, that they're now actually coming back to Syria. Why would this? It makes absolutely no sense. The propaganda of the U.S. media with these white helmets, that the majority of people in North America still thinks that the white helmets are something good. They made a Netflix documentary. They gave them an award in Hollywood for their efforts. How much propaganda has to come forth to try to show that these white helmets are the good guys in Syria, V?
Exactly correct, man. And where are these white helmets? The white helmets are right now. They were airlifted out because they were collapsing. They've been welcomed as heroes in Belgium. Relocated to Belgium. These are deep state actors. What they're trying to do, what the deep state's trying to do, is they're trying to again. This is why and I know that the white hats and I know that the Russians are working together in order to put a nullification on this whole entire chemical attack that's about to happen if it doesn't get stopped. But there's a link between what is happening in Yemen and what is happening in Syria. What is happening in Yemen and what is happening in Syria, it is connected, because what it's going to cause is it's trying to cause greater U.S. presence. It is trying to get some sort of a greater Middle Eastern conflagration to occur. Because what you need to understand about Yemen and what you need to understand about Syria, folks, are both countries that, quote unquote, Iran is involved in, so to speak. That is the pretext here. Okay? Syria is a trigger to get Iran. Yemen is a trigger to get Iran. Why do you think the Saudis, who are long-time rivals of the Persians, long-time rivals of the Iranians, why do you think they're active in Yemen? Why do you think they're active in Syria? The Saudis are active in Syria. Okay? The Saudi terrorist groups that are funded by Saudi Arabia are active in Syria. The Saudi terrorist and mercenary groups that they've hired from Angola and other African countries to do their dirty work for these lazy Saudis. They're active in Yemen. Why? They want a greater conflagration. They want involvement. They want, folks, getting rid of Syria and getting rid of Yemen for Saudi Arabia and for the deep state is to deal a death blow to Iran. Do you get it? That's the geostrategic play here. So they want you to believe that a gas attack is going to happen, that Bashar al-Assad, who has liberated damn near 97% of his country, who is winning the war, all of a sudden says, you know what, I'm winning this war. I've recaptured 97% of my nation has been recaptured. Let me go screw it all up by launching a chemical attack. Let me go ahead and screw it up and launch a chemical attack in which the world's opinion, especially that of Washington, D.C., and thank God that Washington, D.C. has no reputation, no credibility in the world anymore. So why would it, so he's not going to do that. Obviously, right? But who else but the deep state? Who else when you have the war mustache, the maniacal mustache himself? John Bolton, who was about a week ago talking about there's going to be measures in Syria. There's going to be, again, talking that, running and flapping his gums, talking smack about Syria. And lo and behold, we have quote unquote specialists that have arrived. See, they want you to, the American public to believe that Bashar al-Assad, who's been winning his conflict in Syria, fighting back the Free Syrian Army, who's not free, and they are not Syrian, and they ain't no army. Okay? A various conglomeration of terrorist forces that Bashar al-Assad has been fighting back. They want you to believe that he set off with some sort of a chemical attack. They also want you to believe that a paper airplane, that the Houthis, who are basically fighting and defeating the Saudi Arabians with rudimentary weapons, have all of a sudden concocted some sort of a drone called the Samad 3, which has a limited range, limited capabilities, but they want you to believe that it carried some like, they literally want the image in your head that it's maybe some sort of a Predator drone with 500-pound bombs or 200-pound bombs strapped to it, and it flew all the way 1,400 miles sortie, 683 miles one way, 683 miles the other way, into an international airspace, bombed an international airport, one of the biggest, busiest airports on planet Earth, and flew back. They want you to believe that as well. This is the danger of the deep state narrative, and the question of the day, and the deep state is losing, and the question of the day is when will the kibosh, will the anvil, will the absolute guillotine fall on the deep state? When? Because I cannot wait till that's done. This is the stuff that happens in the world, man. Yeah. This is what it is. It is about Iran. CJ.
No, just real quick, a couple of things too. If you think of the timing of this, it makes perfect sense. Okay, so what did we have less than 3 or 4 weeks ago? The big push to get Alex Jones. We know his media. We know the amount of followers. He's the one that's always covering this stuff. They've gotten rid of him, so they've eliminated a good chunk of any intelligence, any type of assessing what's happening to get the truth out. That's gone. Think of the most recent thing. What do you think is going to happen the next few days as they bring John McCain's dead body out and they parade him on, television, and they spend the majority of the time having America consumed into him? Boom, there's your distraction. So we just need to keep eye on this. An interesting thing, V, this was in the deck a few days ago that came out from, again, I can't validate this story, but it, in a way, it kind of makes sense. But apparently, we remember Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, right?
Yep.
Rex Tillerson. Well, apparently, the reason why Tillerson was completely outed was apparently because his efforts. If we remember the entire Saudi UAE riff with Qatar, whatever you want to call it, apparently the Saudis had asked for permission, a green light, preemptive strike on Qatar, which would have been real quick, right? I mean, you look how massive Saudi, it would have been real quick. They would have wiped it out. They were asking for permission. This Rex Tillerson behind the scenes worked diligently to say, no, we can't let this happen. This isn't going to happen. Work diplomatic channels with Qatar, stop this from occurring. And at that point, angered the Saudis to contact America, say, we want this guy gone. We want this guy out of the place. There goes Tillerson, and in comes Pompeo.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So this is what's happening. Again, there's some tension and some blowback going on also with North Korea. There is also some blowback going on with with a lot of these things. So there's some pushback, some resistance points that need to be overcome. We need to figure out exactly when and how that will be taken care of. We got to see how this whole entire thing plays out, folks. And that's what this whole entire game is about. The battle continues. The battle continues. You cannot lay idle. You cannot sit on the sidelines, sit on your hands. This midterms, folks, CJ and I have been hammering about this for damn near a year and a half. The 2018 midterm elections, this is where it's at. This is where it's at. You need to rise up and vote all these guys out of office. All of them. They need to go. They have to go. They must go. Okay, they must go. And we need to create platforms. And we're working on a platform right now. We, as a people, need to put our money where our mouth is and have the courage and say, you know what? We don't need these guys. We don't need these YouTubes, and we don't need these Googles, and we don't need these Twitters and any of these idiots. We don't need any of them. It's time for us to go on our own. And that time is now. We're developing banking systems and alternative currencies. These are the things that we have that we can utilize right now. And that's what we need to do. That's all I got to say, Siege.
Yeah, just real quick, because we discussed this yesterday briefly. And this is what we're up against, folks, okay? So they're claiming we're fake news. They're claiming Alex Jones is fake news. And now proof of a fake story is out there. And the MSM isn't going to cover this. So I need everyone listening today I'll put this article in the comments section to blast this out. So we now have proof that Lanny Davis, who is Michael Cohen's attorney, flat out lied about Trump's involvement with knowledge of the Russian meeting, which isn't illegal to begin with. CNN went ahead and went with this and blasted this for like a cycle of like 12 to 24 hours about, Trump's knowledge and now they're going to go after Donald Jr. because he lied to the FBI. He's next to be indicted. This entire fake narrative. And now Lanny Davis is coming out saying, yeah, I apologize. They mixed up my words. It's not true. This is what we're up against, V.
Mm-hmm. And that's not going to matter to Mueller. And that's not going to matter to the deep state because the deep state's out for blood because it's their survival. You know what I'm saying? When the deep state has nothing left to lose, they lose it. Because it's literally about their survival at this point, folks. That's what it's about. So we'll see how it plays out. Folks, again, check us out, roguenews.com. Follow us on Twitter at Real Rogue News. Subscribe to our email newsletters. Also, check out the Ape device, buytheape.com. Also, check out mycbdedibles.com, liquidbase.io, the crypto school. Guys, if before you want to go out there and get a job at the Macy's perfume counter, once you learn how to trade cryptos, make some money for yourself, we literally have had people quit their day jobs and they're literally trading cryptos every morning, making money as the market rides up, as the market rides down. Don't matter. It's a trader's market. It's a trader's paradise. Join the crypto school. Join the trading room. Make some money for yourself. Make it happen. Make it happen. Take control of your life, your future, your decisions, and be enlightened. With that being said, we're over and out. Take it away, CJ.